I've chosen acting in media. I chose it because I don't just want to have the skills of acting, dancing and singing. I want to be able to cut movies, direct them, film them, all these things that can add to a CV and potentially get me a job in the future.
I've chosen Acting Specialism because the cameras and the speaking really fascinates me. It's just something that I'd really like to get into.
No matter what industry you go into, whether you're a business, you are going to have to stand up in front of people and talk. So good presentational skills which you learn through audition technique and through just basically just getting up and reading scripts or improvisation is a huge part of what the acting specialism does.
There's 1 in 1,000 chance, probably 1 in a million chance I'll become a world famous actor. But it's just so fun. It makes me feel so happy when I'm on stage.
My ambitions as an actor really is to just make it. I mean, I know it's a really tough one. I know that every single person out there, well not every single person, but a lot of people would happily take that as a profession, and it's going to be tough, but I'll work hard.
Mainly I want to go into directing, so from looking at how the teachers sort of direct our productions and say, right, do this, do that, do it in this way, and the techniques you sort of learn as an actor, then you can sort of say objectively as a director, right, I want you to do this, and have an understanding of what the actor is going through.
I trust my acting teachers incredibly. I mean, even the way, the way they present themselves, you can just tell instantly that they know what they're talking about.
My acting classes, I love them because it's not just we prepare a script at home. We are given a script on the day, and we are given 10 minutes to prepare it, to act it, to stage it, to then perform it.
I've enjoyed the one-to-one work with LAMDA a lot because it definitely gives you something that you don't get in classes, because obviously you've got a lot of people in one room. The teacher can't individually say, work on one line for 5 minutes, whereas you can do that in LAMDA. You can do 8 grades of LAMDA. The last 3 give you some UCAS points which go towards your sort of college.
Well, learning of the technique of acting is really important, as you can adapt to other characters, you can adapt to the story, the way you're supposed to act, the backstory, which sometimes you're not told and you have to create yourself, and you think about the character, what his life is, where he lives, all of these things, what his backstory could be. And the acting that you're taught is really important to show people. You don't have to tell people the backstory, you don't have to say it out of your mouth. You can show it with the way you act.
There are lots of uses for the stuff that you learn here. Interaction is one of them, because obviously everyone's so close here, you talk to a wide variety of people all the time. Audition technique is another one which you do fairly regularly in acting classes. So while if you could only go into the industry, you may not be using that to get a job in a film or a West End production, you could be using that at a job interview or just generally when you're meeting somebody. Confidence as well is a good one, because if you're not very confident, then obviously you're going to suffer in many areas. And then just generally just public speaking, because one thing that you do learn is how to speak fluently to a crowd or a camera.
I went to an audition for Bar Mitzvah Boy, and after 3 recalls, I got the part. I was so excited, and it was just one of the best experiences of my life. Working in professional industry with other people who were really good, people who had worked in professional West End.
I've been here 5 years, and every year I found that I've become more confident and more just generally better to be around in an interview or audition situation.
Of course there's competition for parts, but everyone's so nice to each other. If there's an example of me and another kid who went for the Bar Mitzvah Boy audition, and we were both helping each other so much. We were teaching each other the lines, testing each other, giving each other advice. He was chaperoning me everywhere, and he was being so nice to me. And it didn't matter when he didn't get the part, because he was really happy for me. The competition is, of course, everyone's competitive in some way, but it doesn't really come out because everyone's happy, because everyone knows the feeling of what it's like to get a part. And the feeling for someone else to get a part is sometimes just as good.
Being heavily dyslexic, I obviously find reading and writing very difficult. But filming is just a way that you can express ideas and creativities that you can't on paper. Because you can, the luxury you have is that everything's verbal communication, everything is moving, you can visualize it rather than being sat at a desk with a pen trying to spell, you know, what you're trying to create.
It's going to be a huge jump going into upper school. I mean, the lessons are going to get harder, they're going to get more challenging, and I know we get told this all the time, you know, really step up your game, because when you go into upper school, that's when it's going to really hit you.
This year I've changed completely. I feel more mature, I feel more able to do things that I never thought I could before.
It keeps you engaged, so it doesn't feel like it's dragging on when it gets to, you know, 3 o'clock and the morning feels like it was yesterday because of how much you're doing in just one day.
I never thought of being an actor. I never thought of being a singer. I always wanted to, but I didn't really see it as a proper job. But until I came to this school, these things became real. They became my life. They became waking up in the morning thinking, oh God, I don't want to get out of bed, but then thinking, oh, today I have script. Yes, thank you.